In a momentous and tension-filled decision, Lebanon's cabinet has approved a US-backed roadmap aimed at disarming Hezbollah by the end of 2025. This bold move signals an attempt to shift control of weapons exclusively to the state, but raises critical questions about feasibility, sovereignty, and regional stability. How did Lebanon reach this crossroads, and what lies ahead? U.S. Envoy Tom Barrack presented a detailed phased plan which Lebanon's cabinet endorsed, giving the army until end of August to submit a disarmament blueprint. The proposal calls for Hezbollah's weapons to be brought under state control through a four-phase process that includes an Israeli troop withdrawal, the release of Lebanese prisoners, and eventually an international reconstruction conference led by stakeholders such as the US, France, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. The aim: stabilize the fragile ceasefire and transition to Lebanese sovereignty. Notably, Hezbollah and its political ally Amal vehemently oppose the plan, walking out of the cabinet session in protest. They argue that disarmament under US direction is coercive, emphasizing Hezbollah's essential role in defending Lebanon against ongoing Israeli airstrikes. For the context, Amal and Hezbollah combined has 4 ministers in cabinet, including the one controlling the Ministry of Finance. And in parliament, both parties, alongside their allies, control 63 seats, just 3 seats less from taking majority. Thus, their political standing remains very important in this decision. Despite the November ceasefire that followed intense armed clashes, Israeli airstrikes persistently target southern Lebanon and Beirut's southern suburbs. Most recently, in early June, Israel struck areas suspected of housing Hezbollah's drone production facilities, prompting condemnation from Lebanese authorities. The army reportedly threatened to suspend cooperation with a ceasefire monitoring committee if such actions continued to undermine Lebanon's sovereignty. This plan marks the most significant step yet toward formalizing disarmament of non-state armed groups, aligning with UN Security Council Resolution 1701. Yet analysts caution it is fraught with peril. Hezbollah retains deep grassroots support, particularly among Lebanon's marginalized Shia population. Disarmament, if mishandled, risks provoking domestic unrest or even civil conflict. Hezbollah rebuffed the Lebanese cabinet's decision outright. The group labeled the move a grave sin and vowed to treat the decision as if it does not exist. Hezbollah's leadership emphasized that disarmament cannot occur while Israel continues military operations and occupies parts of southern Lebanon. They urged focus on resisting Israeli aggression before relinquishing arms. After the Lebanese civil war, the Taif Agreement in 1989 mandated the disbanding of militias, but Hezbollah remained exempted, recognized as a resistance force against Israeli occupation. The UN Security Council's Resolution 1559 in 2004 reiterated militia disarmament, yet demand has long fallen short in implementation. In 2006, Resolution 1701 reaffirmed these calls as hostilities ended, calling for Hezbollah's weapons to be placed under state control. For Iran, Hezbollah has been its principal proxy, projecting power across the Levant. A disarmed Hezbollah would degrade Tehran's strategic depth and diminish its ability to deter Israel through asymmetric means. Iran's regional posture would significantly weaken. For Israel, Hezbollah's disarmament represents a long-standing national security objective. Without Hezbollah's missile and drone capabilities, Israel's northern border would face less immediate threat, and Israel might seize the opportunity to reset the regional balance more aggressively. However, analysts warn that emptying Hezbollah's military vault could destabilize Lebanon internally, creating space for radicalization or new conflict dynamics. Another analysis suggests Hezbollah now faces an existential choice: disarm to survive politically or risk further defeat. With diminished military and political strength, partially due to Israeli targeting and the fall of Syria's Assad, Hezbollah appears to be choosing cautious adaptation. Lebanon's decision to prepare for Hezbollah's disarmament is ambitious and historic. It reflects aspirations to reclaim full sovereignty and rebuild national institutions. But with Hezbollah firmly entrenched as both a political and military powerhouse and Israeli attacks continuing unabated, the path ahead is riddled with risks. If Lebanon truly intends to reinstate the state as the sole guardian of its territory, it will need far more than a roadmap. It will require unity, international support, and courage in the face of daunting internal opposition.